What if I told you that right now as you are sitting there, you are glowing? It sounds like something from a fantasy novel or a superhero origin story, but it is not make-believe. Every single human on this planet is a walking, talking, thinking light. You are emitting a faint, invisible glow every second of every day. This isn't a metaphor for your personality or your mood. It is a literal, physical fact. You are a biological lantern, a living, breathing nightlight, and the most incredible part of this secret is that you have never even seen it. This light is not the kind you can read by. It is not a bright halo or a radiant aura that follows you around. Instead, it is a whisper of light, a ghostly glimmer that is far too weak for our human eyes to ever detect. We are built to see the world illuminated by the sun or by our electric lights. Our eyes are simply not sensitive enough to pick up on the incredibly subtle photons that our own bodies are constantly producing. Imagine a firefly so faint that its flicker is 1,000,000 times dimmer than what our eyes can register. That is the world of your own personal glow. You are, quite literally, brilliant. You might think this glow is just body heat. We all know that we are warm-blooded creatures. We radiate heat, which is a form of infrared radiation. Special cameras, called thermal cameras, can see this heat as a colorful map. Reds, yellows, blues. But that is not the light we are talking about. The glow you produce is not heat. It is actual visible light. It is composed of photons, the same fundamental particles that make up the light from the sun or a light bulb. This is a completely different phenomenon, far more mysterious and much fainter. This phenomenon is called ultra-weak photon emission, or simply biophotons. The bio part tells you it comes from a living thing. The photon part tells you it is light. For decades it was a fringe idea, something that many scientists were skeptical about. Could living cells really be producing light as a side effect of just being alive? It seemed too strange to be true. But the evidence began to build, experiment by experiment. Researchers started to find these tiny sparks of light coming from plants, from animal cells, and eventually from us. The scientific proof is now undeniable. Using highly sophisticated equipment, scientists have measured and photographed this light. It is a steady, predictable output of light that is directly linked to our own metabolic processes. In other words, the very chemical reactions that keep you alive are the source of your glow. You are glowing because you're alive. The story of how we proved humans glow takes us to a laboratory in Japan, Tohoku Institute of Technology, lead researcher Masaki Kobayashi and his team. They wanted to capture the first definitive images of this human light, but they faced a massive challenge. The light was rumored to be 1,000 times less intense than what our naked eyes can perceive. How could they possibly photograph something so incredibly faint? They knew they would need a very special camera, and a very dark room. Their experiment was simple in concept but incredibly difficult in practice. They recruited a group of healthy male volunteers. Volunteers were asked to sit bare-chested in a completely light-proof chamber for about 20 minutes at a time. This let their eyes adjust to total darkness. The chamber was a void, an abyss of blackness, the perfect stage to hunt for the faintest light, the light of a human being. Inside that room was the hero, a cryogenically cooled, super-sensitive camera. To reach that sensitivity, the camera core was cooled to -120 degrees Celsius. The stage was set for a remarkable discovery. And what they saw was astounding. The camera revealed a faint but distinct glow emanating from the volunteers' bodies. For the first time, we had a picture of our own inner light. So what is this magical camera that can see our hidden light? It is called a charge-coupled device, or CCD camera. Think of it as a digital camera on steroids, engineered to be extraordinarily sensitive. Your smartphone camera captures billions of photons in a well-lit room. This CCD works in the opposite environment, captures just a handful of photons in total darkness, an instrument built for seeing the invisible, the secret, extreme cold. All electronic sensors generate internal noise. That noise looks like grainy static on an old TV. In bright photos, the noise is drowned out, but for something 1,000 times fainter, the noise is a deafening roar. Scientists cool the CCD with liquid nitrogen. The deep freeze makes the sensor still and silent so a single photon can be heard. Not a quick snapshot, it's a very long exposure to collect as much light as possible. Over minutes or even hours, photons strike the cooled sensor one by one. Each photon creates a tiny charge in a single pixel. Image builds up pixel by pixel, photon by photon. The result? A ghostly map of light. The images from these experiments are hauntingly beautiful. They show a dim silhouette of a person, with brighter patches of light concentrated on the face, especially around the mouth and cheeks. windows into a hidden dimension revealed by ultra-sensitive tech. Now for the big question, why do we glow? The answer lies in the very processes that keep us alive. It's all about metabolism. Your body is a bustling chemical factory with trillions of tiny reactions happening every second. You eat food, and your cells break it down to create energy. This process, called cellular respiration, is how you power everything you do, thinking, breathing, moving your muscles. But, this process is not perfectly efficient. As your cells work, they create some highly reactive, unstable molecules called free radicals. These free radicals are a natural byproduct of life. They're kind of like tiny sparks flying off the whirring machinery of your cells. These molecules are desperate to become stable again, so they react with other things around them, like fats and proteins. When these reactions happen, they can release a tiny burst of energy, and sometimes, just sometimes, that energy is released in the form of a photon, a particle of light. This is the source of your glow. Think of it like a campfire. Most of the energy from the burning wood is released as heat, which you can feel, but some of it is released as light, which you can see in the dancing flames. Your metabolism is like a very, very slow-burning fire. Your glow is the visible echo of your life force, the faint embers of your inner fire. Your glow is not just a steady, constant light, it actually changes throughout the day. Japanese researchers photographed this light. They took images of volunteers every 3 hours, from morning until late at night. The glow follows a distinct daily rhythm. The light is weakest in the morning, around 10 a.m. It slowly increases throughout the day. It peaks in the late afternoon, about 4 p.m. This daily fluctuation is not random. It's tied to your body's internal clock, your circadian rhythm. It controls sleep-wake patterns. It controls body temperature. It controls hormone levels. Your metabolic rate follows this rhythm too. Metabolism speeds up during the day and slows at night. Your glow is a byproduct of metabolism, so your light rises and falls with daily energy use. Your inner light waxes and wanes with the day. Think about what that means. Your body isn't simply on or off. It's a dynamic, rhythmic system. The glow is a visual representation of that inner dance. When we think of glowing creatures, our minds usually jump to the spectacular displays found in nature. We think of fireflies blinking in a summer meadow, their abdomens flashing with bright yellow light. We imagine strange fish in the deep ocean, using glowing lures to attract prey in the crushing darkness. Or we picture shimmering fungi that cast an eerie green light on the forest floor. This phenomenon, called bioluminescence, is one of nature's most dazzling shows. It is bright, it is obvious, and it always serves a clear purpose: to attract a mate, to hunt for food, to scare away a predator. Our human glow, however, is a completely different story. It is not bioluminescence, it is ultra-weak photon emission. The key difference is intensity and control. A firefly produces its light using a specific chemical reaction involving an enzyme called luciferase. It can turn its light on and off at will, creating a powerful signal. The light is so bright that we can easily see it from many feet away. It is a biological firework display. Our glow, on the other hand, is 1,000 times weaker. It is not produced by a specialized enzyme, and we have no conscious control over it. If a firefly's light is a shout, our glow is an unintentional whisper. It is the accidental noise of our metabolic machinery, not a deliberate signal. The bright glow of a firefly is a specialization, a unique evolutionary trick. Our faint glow, however, seems to be a universal property of complex life. If we all glow, why is this not common knowledge? Why did it take until the 21st century for science to definitively prove it? The primary reason is simply that our glow is so incredibly, fantastically weak. The human eye can detect a single photon in ideal conditions, but the world is a noisy place full of light. Our eyes evolved to see in a world lit by the sun. The sun is a star that bombards us with an unimaginable number of photons every second. Our vision is calibrated for brightness, not extreme faintness. To perceive our glow, you'd need absolute darkness for an extended period, far darker than any bedroom at night. Even then, the light from your body is far below the threshold of human vision and remains invisible. The technology required is another major factor. It takes a multi-million-dollar camera cooled with liquid nitrogen to sub-zero temperatures, operating in a perfectly light-sealed room, just to capture a fuzzy image of this light. This isn't gear from a high school science lab. It's highly specialized, expensive, and found in only a handful of advanced institutes worldwide. Finally, the idea sounds like pseudoscience. For centuries, talk of human auras and life energy belonged to mystics and spiritualists, not rigorous science. That stigma made many scientists hesitant to investigate. It took brave, curious researchers to look past the stigma and ask, could there be a physical basis? Their work moved the human glow from mysticism into biophysics. The discovery that we glow is more than just a fun piece of trivia. It is a profound reminder of how little we still know about the human body. We have mapped the human genome. We can transplant organs. We have developed medicines that can cure once fatal diseases. And then, this discovery reveals we've been missing something fundamental. We've been walking around our entire lives, completely unaware that we are emitting light. What other secrets is the body still keeping? This hidden light opens up a universe of new questions. Some researchers are exploring whether it could play a role in our health. Could doctors one day use a glow scan to get an instant, non-invasive snapshot of your metabolic health? If our cells are releasing light, are they also sensing it? Could this form a network of light-based communication within the body, a kind of biological internet made of photons? The faint glow you produce might be the hum of a complex communication system we never knew existed. Next time you look in the mirror, remember the secret you carry. You are not just a collection of flesh and bone. You are a source of light, a faint, invisible, deeply mysterious glow that connects you to the fundamental processes of life itself. Even the most familiar subject, our own body, is a vast uncharted wilderness full of wonders. If we missed our own glow for so long, what other amazing superpowers are we overlooking right now?